Let's talk about how I ended up in a new city. It all started with a breakup and being completely over an exhausting job. First, let me say that I thought my relationship was solid. I thought I had found my person, but life has a way of throwing curveballs. The first blow landed on a quiet Tuesday evening. I was sitting in my favorite corner of my living room, sipping a cup of chamomile tea, when my phone buzzed. The message was blunt and cold. "I think we should break up. It's not working out for me." I just sat there and stared at my phone. My heart sank. The relationship that I had cherished and invested so much in was over, just like that, through a text message. No conversation, no closure, just an end. To take my mind off the heartbreak, I threw myself into my work. I hoped the distraction would keep me from calling him, thinking about him, or asking him what I did wrong. But as fate would have it, my job only added to the betrayal I was already feeling. After coming back from vacation, I was introduced to a new young woman in my department. My manager told me that she would be assisting me with our larger accounts and asked me to show her the ropes. I trained her, ate lunch with her every day, created a Google Doc full of tips and tricks for her, and even hung out with her outside of work. The entire time, I had no idea I was training my own replacement. On her 90th day, my manager called me into his office to ask how she was doing. I gave her a glowing review as her trainer. Then there was a knock on the door. It was Human Resources. They informed me that I was being relieved of my duties, not because I wasn't good at my job, but because I had been there for years and had one of the highest salaries. Later, I found out that she had agreed to do my job for half the pay. Fresh out of college and eager to gain experience, she was willing to take a much lower salary. While I was in that meeting, they had already packed up my desk so they could walk me straight out the door. I sat in my car that day for what felt like hours and just cried. That job had been a significant part of my identity. After losing it, I didn't know who I was or who saw value in me anymore. During these tumultuous changes, my best friend Solana emerged as a beacon of hope and support. She came over to my apartment to help me pack up all of my ex's things. Then she turned to me and said, "Why don't we just move to a new city? Start fresh, meet new people, and build a new life." The suggestion was both terrifying and exhilarating. Moving to a new city meant leaving behind familiar surroundings and stepping into the unknown. But it also held the promise of new opportunities and a chance to reinvent myself. Without a second thought, I just said, "Yes." I packed up my stuff, said my goodbyes, and set off on a journey to a new city. The road ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in a long while, I felt a spark of hope and excitement. It was a chance to start over, to turn the page and write a new chapter in my life. And this time, I was the one holding the pen.